I love that. Answers the age-old question, is O-line fun? My guest is in his 27th year, 27 years at NFL Films, Keith Cossrow, immortalizing being the archivist, celebrating our most important favorite moments for decades now. Congratulations on everything, and especially Hard Knocks in season with the AFC North.
Thank you, Kay. It's great to see you again. It's been a minute. I think this is actually my 28th season now.
Oh, gosh. We don't,
My whole adult
Why
life.
don't you update your Twitter bio, my producer's saying in my ear. Ooh, shots fired. 28 incredible seasons. I'll ask you, maybe the toughest question of your day. Out of your 8,000 Emmys, which are you most proud of?
Well, we didn't win an Emmy for it, but doing NFL Next with Kay Adams is certainly top of the list. We got to have 2 seasons of Kay in the NFL
It
film
was so
studio.
fun. You, me,
Yeah.
Chris Long, Andrew Hawkins. What could have been?
Yeah, the start of Amazon's TNF.
Yes, yeah, it certainly was, Keith. Tell me about Hard Knocks. It's obviously different. You up the ante. Are you bored? Just one team isn't enough? We just decided to go with the best rivalries in all of sports in one little shoot?
We've been trying to do this for 5 years. Wow. That was when we first pitched it and got laughed at by everybody. Like, you guys can't even get one team to do this. You're going to get 4? But it's counterintuitive. Like, it's actually a better ask to say to a whole division, to say to Mike Tomlin, you're going to do this, but so is John Harbaugh, and so is Zach Taylor, and so is Kevin Stefanski.
Oh.
I think they all saw the wisdom in that approach and got on board. So we just think this solves a lot of problems with the in-season show that 3 years of doing one team had exposed a lot of structural issues that just couldn't be overcome. So we just thought this would be a better model. The reality is it's the hardest show we've ever done in my 28 years. No runner-up.
Why do you say that? What are some of the challenges?
It's just 4 teams at once. We've got boots on the ground in 4 cities that are playing high stakes football. They're rivals with each other. And figuring out how to tell that story, how to construct an episode, what the visual language is, dealing with all those personalities, the star power is off the charts. It's unbelievable. We're so grateful, but it's been really, really hard. And in all the good ways, it's supposed to be hard. We want it to be hard. It's that's what we love. For Hard Knocks to be in year 23, 24 here, and to add 2 new iterations of it that have resonated with fans the way they have in the Giants off-season version, which obviously continues to be a conversation, and this version, which we think is just such a powerful story to tell. It's awesome. We love Hard Knocks. We're privileged to get to do it, and to add this layer of it and tell this story. Rivalries on Hard Knocks. What could be better?
No better rivalry than what's going on in that division. Even now, it has worked so beautifully. I love that it's challenging and gratifying at the same time. You mentioned the boots on the ground. How many boots on the ground there at NFL Films in Mount Laurel? How many people work on this show?
We have 10 to 15 in each city. We've got about 25 to 30 producers who log footage every day. That's their job.
Okay.
They're incredible. And then we have another staff of 10 to 12 show producers who are editing, producing, figuring out the story. And that, and then there's layers of executives and people who need to supervise the thing. So, and then all the support staff at Films, I would say probably 150 people touch an episode before it makes it.
150 people. That is unbelievable. And I want to get into some of the storylines, but I'm very curious. Who was the lucky person of the 150 that got to call, that had the honor of calling Mike Tomlin to tell him he has to do this?
None of them. That would be Burt Lawton at the Steelers.
Lucky guy.
But, this was an ownership level vote. Last year at the owners' meetings, they had to vote to change the Hard Knocks resolution, which everybody, it's everybody's favorite parlor game. Who's going to be on the OG Summer Hard Knocks? And there's the rules. We changed those rules a little bit last year, and the owners voted on this change to the in-season show, and it was passed overwhelmingly, 29-3, I think. Which for a Hard Knocks vote is about as good as you're going to get. And the Steelers were a yes, but I think Coach Tomlin probably wasn't thrilled with the assignment at first, but since it landed on his desk, he's been incredible. His attitude about it is reflected on the show, I think. The way he leads, the way he speaks, the tone he sets in that building, I think you're seeing it on the show. It's one of the reasons the show is so special right now. But I think he's just done an amazing job of handling this part of the business.
Keith, I think it's having an effect on his Coach of the Year status. I really do.
You think so?
Yeah.
The first year we did the in-season show with the Colts, they had the most Pro Bowlers in the league. In fact, when we tried to get a team the second year, we were like, hey, the Colts had the most Pro Bowlers in the league last year when they were on Hard Knocks in season. And then the Cardinals, unfortunately, had that season where nobody was making the Pro Bowl. That was a mess.
Yes, I think you don't think so. Of course, it's having an effect. We're getting to see him in contrast with other coaches in the division. We're getting to see a little bit more of him and how he's handling these decisions and the team. I absolutely think it's going to get it for him finally.
I think the important thing, whether he gets it or not, is that we are getting to see Mike Tomlin and the way he leads, the way he speaks. Like right now, you don't want not to get serious, but to see leaders who are fully comfortable in their own skin and have their own voice and are unique in the way they speak and go about their business. I just think that that's the real value of a show like this is for all of us to get to see that. I mean, it inspires me. It inspires I would think every Little League football coach out there, every Pop Warner football coach who gets to see Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh do their jobs, Hall of Fame coaches, leading Super Bowl contenders. I think it shows you the right way to speak to people, to address people individually and as a group. And that's so great to be able to put on TV.
We're going to take a quick break here with Keith Cossrow with 8,000 Emmys. We're going to keep talking through it because we're on YouTube, and we're going to clip this out and put it out there. Love talking to you about this. At NFL Films as a whole, it somehow hits the same, which is so impressive with the onslaught of social media, players having their own platforms, their decision to take you inside, AI, short attention spans and consuming content. This is the stuff that I think about every day. How does NFL Films manage to cut through still?
Well, that's the conversation we have every day. Is the business is so competitive. There's so many people who are so good at this, and there's so many access shows and bio docs and highlight shows and obviously pervasive social media. How do you move the needle like that? How do you? Why? Your show has to almost reach through the screen and grab the audience and say, "Watch me right now." That's all of our task, right? That's what you have to deal with every day. Listen to me. Don't change your channel. Don't mute me or turn me off. And that's the filter you run everything through, right? And sometimes it's tough because with the Giants show, it stinks that John Mara and Joe Shane have to see that clip every time they turn on whatever their social media feeds are, assuming they have one.
For the rest of time, Keith, that's on you.
I would just like to say, those guys, I think they went through a very deliberate, comprehensive, thorough process. That show is a show about process. Yeah. And I don't think there's ever been a TV show before that showed a group of executives deliberating over an extensive period of time how to make a series of decisions, high-level, consequential decisions that were going to affect the organization they lead and their own careers. And I think for the courage they had to put that on the air, to show their process, how they arrived at the decisions they made, which they knew were going to be big and controversial, I hope people recognize that that's what the show was about, and that's why they did it. And I think if you watch that show start to finish, you understand why they made the decision they made about Saquon and how the Daniel Jones contract was impacting other decisions.
It's well said. I don't know. I mean, I remember talking to to Shane during, I believe, or after, and him telling me, like, I still think the camera's in my room. Like, he's got a little bit of, I don't know how to label it, but he thought it might still be in there. That, you know, it certainly gave us the peek into the process you're talking about. It is so revelatory, and I love it so much. But there has to be sort of a balance of embracing technology, embracing the fact that this is it. You must hate this, right? Keith, you hate this.
No,
this has
I
to
don't.
Be
I'm
really?
addicted to it. I'm totally addicted.
So we're embracing NFL Films full blast, like we are into 2024 AI. Except the AI is never going to take over Shriver's role.
No, better not. No, I draw the line at creating. We shouldn't have AI do the creative work that humans do. But there's a lot of work that AI can help us with.
Ooh, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see.
But we have to embrace social. We have to We have to recognize and understand that if Mike Tomlin says something that turns into a meme, that's not what we're trying to do here.
I mean, social's certainly embracing NFL Films and Hard Knocks. Keep watching. 4 teams, 150 people. We are indebted to you for giving us the best content in the business. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Kay. Great to see you.
Keith